Transformers The Last Night was the movie that eventually made me realize that these movies are not good. Hey guys, this is Old School Frisbee. Be sure to like and subscribe so we can get this into YouTube's algorithm and I can start pumping out videos for you guys. And again, I'm sorry if I'm gonna be stuttering a lot, like gonna keep messing up. I don't have a script. This is from my heart. This is from on the top of my head. This is my personal feelings on Transformers The Last Night. So, like a lot of Transformer fans, I think most were excited for The Last Night because it did something that no other movies of the Transformer films did. It promised on things like they were going to explain why they keep coming here to Earth. There was like this whole lore building around it. Hell, there was going to be a Transformers cinematic universe, and they even had a writer's room for that. And when I first saw the movie, I loved it. I thought it was one of the best. I thought there was more focus on the robots. I even cheered a bit. But when I kept seeing this movie, when I kept watching it, and I kept looking back, I began to see the glaring problems with these movies. And it made me realize that these movies, even if they're supposed to be fun popcorn flicks, they're not good ones. Transformers The Last Night was something that it was just a big bloated mess. One that people say that it's better than Age of Extinction, though Age of Extinction is not really a good movie. That's kind of insulting, seeing as how Age of Extinction at least kind of had a story, even if it did fumble a bit. This had no story. This was just a bunch of stuff going around, exposition, and the action scenes were at its worst in this movie. Like, I couldn't tell what's going on. Everything was fast paced. Like, the Decepticons were not even Decepticons. They were just a bunch of people who were just a bunch of robots who weren't even there for like 5 minutes, and they got destroyed by the Autobots, who are OP in this movie. Megatron, despite having a very sleek and badass look, is not even in the movie that much, and he's second fiddle again to Quintessa. It's disappointing, man. Like, this movie promised on a lot of things, like the Optimus and Megatron backstory on Cybertron, but that was a lie. Like, ugh. And the whole writers' room was that was shit too. Like, they were there just to assemble this movie, because apparently there was like two different scripts. One on World War II and one with King Arthur. So Michael Bay and probably Lorenzo di Bonaventura probably mushed them up together because they liked them both. But that was a stupid idea for them to do, because this movie sucked. This movie was not good. This movie broke me, okay? This movie broke me in a way that no other Transformer movie can. Optimus Prime is also barely in this movie. And that promise of him being turned evil, that only happens briefly, and he's going all like, what have I done? Like, what? You didn't do nothing! You were barely in this movie! You didn't kill anyone! You were nothing in this movie. And the human characters, as always, took up most of the screen time in these movies. For the first one, I can at least understand, because it's in the perspective of the humans, because these giant robots are on our planet, and it's like, and the tagline even said, like, their world, our war, or is it the other way around? I don't know, but this movie is just, but the human characters are at its worst in this movie. Like, Mark Wahlberg's Cade Yeager, I hate. I fucking despise Cade Yeager in this movie. I thought he was okay in Transformers: Age of Extinction, but in this movie, man, he is just so loud. He is an asshole. He threatened to punch a kid in this movie. Like, is this your protagonist? Also, why is there so much cursing in this movie? Like, why? Why is there so much cursing in these movies? There are kids who are cursing, and that's just like, okay, kids curse, but to this extent, like, oh my god. Even Bumblebee cursed a lot. Come on, okay, calm down. Shit. The MCU, they curse a lot. They swear, but they don't do it that much. And there was also a plot twist about why they keep coming here to Earth, but honestly, it's I kind of forgot about it because this movie was very confusing. The exposition was very fast, and there was no story within this movie, and there was not really a good one too. Ugh, sorry, just drinking water. But there's also there are very bad continuity issues within this movie. Like, it said that the Transformers have been here since all the way back and all that. But I thought the Transformers didn't come here till the 90s or the 2000s. And why is Optimus Prime on Earth and all that? Why is Hound? Why is Ironhide on Earth? When most of them were there since 2007. Like, I don't get it. I legit don't. I you see what this movie is doing to me? It's doing this. It hurts me. It hurts my brain. And one of the biggest things they promised us was the Bumblebee versus Optimus fight. But aside from Steve Jablonsky's fantastic score, though I think this time around it's kind of okay, except for a few ones, they didn't promise on much. K kept getting in the way. It was just a bunch of robots, fumbling around while the camera keeps shaking and all that. And matter of fact, I kind of see this as the equivalent to Superman versus Batman, where it was so short. They promised so much on that, but it was so short, and it ended stupid. Like this one. Remember the Marta scene in Batman v Superman? Well, here's something worse. Bumblebee speaking, which wouldn't sound so bad except for the fact that Optimus said, I haven't heard it since Cybertron fell. What? Bruh. You heard him speak in the 2007 film. This is what I keep saying when Michael Bay doesn't really care about this series. And why I think maybe after the third one, they should have just rebooted the series and probably go with somebody else. Because Michael Bay's heart isn't in this movie. And it helps that when he was first asked about directing the first Transformer movie, he called it a stupid toy commercial. And they could have just gone with someone else. They could have just done that. And because of Transformers: The Last Night, it even though it made over $600 million, it still lost Paramount a lot of money. And thank God they didn't pull the plug on Bumblebee, because that was too far in production and they would lose money on that. And it's a really good thing that Hasbro has creative control over these movies now, because it's their property. And I think with Bumblebee, they did a really good job on having such a fun movie that has a story and that has love and care. Though that also goes to Travis Knight, who I think is a spectacular director. I loved his movie, Kubo and the Two Strings. That was such a fantastic movie. And when I heard he was directing Bumblebee, I was excited about it. And after the first trailer came out, I fell in love with it. I thought, okay, this is going to be special. And then the second trailer came out, and my suspicions were like how maybe this movie is going to be a reboot, and yeah, it is. It's a storytelling universe, and that's the way to go. Pick up where Bumblebee left off, and I think they're going to do that with the next set of Transformer movies, because let's be honest, the Transformer film series basically kind of made Transformers a joke in a way. Like, people kind of see Transformers as like these stupid toilet humor, having these sexy girls and whatnot, and testicles and shit. And Transformers can be more than that, as shown with stuff like Transformers Armada, or Transformers Animated, Transformers Prime, the IDW comics, the Transformers video games, The War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. Have you ever seen Fall of Cybertron? The trailer? The trailer is one of the best trailers I have ever seen. It did something no other Transformer trailers aside from Bumblebee did. It made me cry. That trailer perfectly demonstrated what the War for Cybertron is and how devastating it is to the Cybertronians. And in the song, the Humbling River, perfectly demonstrated that. It showed that. Show, don't tell. I know, I'm sorry I kind of went off on that, but these movies, the Transformers movies, are something that I used to love, but now I tend to look back at them as just background noises, you know? Anyways, that's all I have for today. If I miss anything, be sure to go in the comments and type whatever you can. Like, if I mess anything up, I could make another video and try to talk about that. And be sure to like and subscribe as always. And peace out.